Okay, what this project's about is all these weird shapes that I'll turn. I want a Christmas tree. I bought these bauble shells, acrylic shells from the works, £2 for 6. And I want baubles with those shapes inside. So I'm going to have the Platonic Solids, which is tetrahedron, octahedron, cube, dodecahedron, icosahedron. Then that's a truncated, excavated dodecahedron. That's a stellated dodecahedron. I can do a stellated icosahedron, which is a 20-sided star. And I'm also going to do excavated tetrahedron. Anyway, I want 12 to make a set to put on a. I'm going to make a tree, which is going to be a spiral, an Archimedes spiral, a conical, a cone that's got an Archimedean spiral going around it, so these will hang around the spiral. So that's the plan, and by doing it we'll learn lots of new little techniques and nuggets along the way, hopefully. Right, the first thing we're going to need to make all these Platonic solids and a load of other polyhedra are some rulers. The first ruler, I'm going to just show you how I use it, is to get the exact diameter. See, I'm like a fraction of a millimetre under, so I'll just sand in that last little bit. I wouldn't even, if it was like a millimetre, I'd take a pass, a light pass with a roughing gauge. I should explain something else, hang on. That'll probably do it. Right, first of all, I got use verniers to get, you know, a digital vernier to get an exact cylinder, and I set these and then turned it back just a 1/16 of a turn, so that they'd be just a little bit loose, so that I could use those to turn in a cylinder that I knew was like a millimetre too big or something like that. Then when one was accurate, I also made this measure, this tape, which we'll need 2 of. Yeah, there we go. I'm sure if I line that all up, that'll line up. Yep. So a little tiny bit more sand in there and we'll be accurate. I'll do it because I want this to be a backup ruler. It's got to be the most important measurement being the centre, so that's, there you go, spot on. Right, this is how you make it. You cut a strip. This is what they make those signs that you see on banners. It's like a plasticized material. If you can get hold of that, it's the best stuff. If not, cloth back plastic. So make a strip that's a bit bigger than the 2 or 3 centimeters more than the circumference of the circle, and on one side put a mark. And wrap it round, and on the other side get it as lined up as you can, put a mark. So that's your circle. Now divide, half it, fold it in half with the marks on the outside until the marks line up. They're lined up. Oh, sorry, I'm not in front of the camera. So I've lined up the things, and I'm just going to fold it so I've got the half. That'll divide it into half. And I'm going to put a mark there. I'm just going to go over those first two marks. Now the pen choice is important. I'm using a uni pen made by Mitsubishi, Unipin fine line, 0.5mm. I'm using, doesn't really matter about the size as long as it's fine. So that's divided in halves. Now line up one line with your halfway line, make sure they're lined up, put a crease. There's your first quarter, and this first tape will allow us to create a tetrahedron, a cube, an octahedron, which are our first three Platonic solids, and it will also allow us to create a couple of interesting polyhedra, probably many more, but that I can think of that with a little bit of thought, at least a couple of interesting ones. A stellar octangular, I think it's called. I think I'm not on the mark there. I'm going to check that. Right, you should really let your ink dry between markings really, but I didn't. See, I am off the mark. It's there. So here we've got a ruler that divides your sphere into four. Now if I measure to the centre, another good thing about these, they bleed less. This is pine that I'm using, and it's very bleedy, and these are the least bleedy pen that I've been found to mark them out. Mark a line round, take your ruler, wrap it round. Oh, this is my original ruler. Get it up to your line best you can. 1, 2, better mark this, the origin. 3, 4. Now later on, if you find you hit a cylinder or a sphere, this will work on, this will be used on the sphere as well. Find your half division. Oh no, what we're going to do, sorry, is we're going to label these A and B. So you can see I've wrapped it that way round. If I wrapped it that way round and the circle's smaller, you'll get lines, you'll get two sets of lines, and the centres of those two lines would be the heart, you know, the exact right thing for whatever size that you've gone out by. So just a way of correcting an error in size. So that's your first ruler, just divides it into 4. Right, we're going to need a second ruler, and that is for right, put a mark on first before I start. That is for dodecahedron and icosahedron and a bunch of other polyhedra that we can create. So we're going to go the same at first, the same as the first, which is mark the circumference, and divide it just into half. Sorry, it's hard to keep thinking about where the camera is. I'll get better at this one day. So folded it in half, and then I'm going to put the halfway mark, and that one's good. Now whatever method you decide to use now, I'll just get that out the way. I've got a proportional divider, so I've set it to divide by 10, and just get the right ruler in there. Got that. I'm going to have to set it to divide by 5. Yeah, that makes more sense. Divide by 5. So I'm going to divide each half by 5, so that's better. I don't have to spread it out so far. Get it in there. If you don't have this, measure it and then use a pair of dividers. Once you're happy that the division's right, there you go, that's spot on. Mark off each division. Put more effort than I am here. I mean, I would normally put more effort in than this, but I'm trying to rush things for the video, I guess. There we go, 5. Same on the other end. So that we've got a divide by 10 ruler. We don't need it yet, but I'm just getting these measure tape divider. Just getting them out of the way so that they're ready for when we need them. The first one we need, the divide by 4, but the second one we don't need till we do the dodecahedron, the icosahedron, the stellated dodecahedron and the stellated icosahedron. Okay, thanks for watching.